evening, dear students. Myself, Dr. Kaleem Ahmed, Assistant Professor, Department of Wildlife Sciences, Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh. In the last lecture, we discussed the biotic component of the ecosystems. Now, in today's lecture, we will discuss the types of ecosystem. Ecosystem can be categorized into two main types, namely terrestrial and aquatics, based on their habitat. Any additional sub-ecosystem is classified within one of these two types. There are various types of the ecosystem broadly categorized based on their characteristics. In terrestrial ecosystems, we have forest ecosystem, grassland ecosystem, montane ecosystem, and desert ecosystems. And in aquatic ecosystems, we have marine ecosystems include oceans, seas, and estuaries. In freshwater ecosystems includes lakes, rivers, ponds, and wetlands. Let's start from forest ecosystem. This type of forest is determined by abiotic elements such as climate and soil characteristics in a particular region. They can be classified based on the characteristics of their tree species, including distinctions such as evergreen, deciduous, xerophytic, or those dominated by thorn trees and mangroves. Additionally, forests can be grouped according to the prevalence of specific tree species such as sal or teak forest. In numerous instances, the nomenclature of the forest is derived from the first three or four most predominant species within it. We will discuss the different types of the forest ecosystem in the coming slides. The first is tropical wet evergreen forest. This type of forest is characterized by their lush greenery and high biodiversity, predominantly found in Western Ghats, northeastern states, and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. These forests thrive in a region with high and constant rainfall throughout the year. The climate in these forests is warm and humid, providing optimal conditions for a diverse array of plant and animal species. Major tree species includes Diptocarpus, Mezua, Opia, and Calophyllum. The dense canopy formed by these evergreen trees limits sunlight penetration to the forest floor, creating a unique microhabitat. Epiphytes, ferns, and mosses flourish in this environment. These forests harbor some of the India's most endangered and endemic species. Iconic animals found in tropical wet evergreen forests includes lion-tailed macaque, Malabar grand squirrels, Nilgiri langur. The rich biodiversity contributes to the ecological balance of the region. Conservation efforts are crucial to safeguard these forests from anthropogenic threats and habitat loss. The intricate web of life within these evergreen realms underscores their ecological significance, making them vital components of the India's natural heritage. Another is tropical semi-evergreen forest. Tropical semi-evergreen forests in India display a unique blend of characteristics, thriving in areas with moderate rainfall and diverse vegetation. These forests are notably found in the Western Ghats, Eastern Himalayas, and parts of northeastern India. The climate is marked by distinct wet and dry seasons, allowing for a mix of both evergreen and deciduous species. Key tree species include bamboo, cans, pines, and machila. The vegetation comprising both evergreen and deciduous elements contributing to the overall biodiversity. These forests play a crucial role in stabilizing the ecosystem and supporting various wildlife species. Major fauna in tropical semi-evergreen forests includes Indian elephant, tiger, leopard, goat. The mix of evergreen and deciduous elements in these forests provide a varied habitat for a range of wildlife. Conservation efforts are vital to protect these ecosystems from anthropogenic pressures, ensuring the sustained existence of their diverse flora and fauna. The tropical semi-evergreen forest stands a testament to the adaptability of life in response to changing environmental conditions, making them an integral part of Indian rich ecological tapestry. Another is tropical mice deciduous forest. This type of forest is prominent type in India are characterized by a mix of deciduous trees that shed their leaves during a specific part of the year. These forests thrive in region with a pronounced wet and dry seasons, covering central and eastern India and parts of western Ghats. The climate influences the deciduous nature of the trees, allowing them to conserve water during drier periods. Major tree species in these forests include teak, sal, shisham, sandalwood, and kher. The deciduous nature of these trees creates a dynamic of ecosystem with seasonal change in the forest canopy. This type of forest play a crucial role in the timber industry due to presence of commercially valuable species. The tropical mice deciduous forests provide a habitat for a variety of wildlife, including sambar deer, spotted deer, Indian bison, wild boar. The diverse flora and fauna contribute to the ecological balance and support the livelihood of the local communities. Conservation efforts are essential to address the challenge posed by the logging and habitat fragmentations, ensuring the sustainability of these ecosystems and a myriad species that call them home. Another is tropical dry deciduous forests. This type of forest in India are characterized by a mix of deciduous trees that shed their leaves during a significant part of the year, adapting to regions with distinct wet and dry seasons. These forests are predominantly found in central India and parts of the Deccan Plateau. The deciduous nature of the trees allows them to conserve water during prolonged dry spells, contributing to the resilience in arid condition. Major tree species in these forests include teak, sal, bamboo, terminalia, etc. The landscape experiences a seasonal transformation with the shedding and regrowth of leaves, impacting the forest canopy and light availability to the forest floor. Tropical dry deciduous forests provide habitat for a variety of wildlife, including sloth bear, cheetal, langur, leopard, etc. The adaptation of flora and fauna to the seasonal change in precipitations is a testament to the resilience of these ecosystems. However, they face threats from habitat degradation, logging, and human encroachment, emphasizing conservation efforts to maintain the biodiversity and ecological balance of these valuable forest ecosystem. Another is tropical thorn forest and scrubs. This type of forest in India represent an ecosystem adapted to arid and semi-arid regions, characterized by low rainfall and challenging environmental conditions. These type of forests found in western Rajasthan, Gujarat and northern Deccan Plateau. These ecosystems are dominated by drought resistant and xerophytic vegetations. Major plant species include Acacia, Ziziphus, Prosopis. The vegetation in these areas typically consists of thorny shrubs and small trees, which have adapted to conserve water and withstand high temperatures. Thorn forests and scrubs play a crucial role in preventing soil erosion in regions with minimum rainfall. Key wildlife species found in these ecosystems include Indian gazelle, bustard, Indian fox. Many of the animals in these habitats have adapted to the harsh conditions, displaying characteristics such as nocturnal behavior to avoid daytime heat. Human activities such as overgrazing and agricultural expansions pose significant threats to these ecosystems. Conservation efforts are essential to mitigate these challenges and preserve the unique biodiversity of tropical thorn forests and scrubs, recognizing their ecological importance in arid landscape. Another is montane subtropical forests. This type of forest in India represent an ecological rich and diverse habitat found in the eastern Himalayas and western Ghats. Spanning higher elevations, these forests are characterized by a unique combination of temperate and tropical features. They typically occur between the tropical and temperate zones, displaying a mosaic of plant species adapted to varying temperature gradients. Major tree species includes oak, rhododendron, chestnut, birch, elder, etc. The vegetation in montane subtropical forests varies with at altitude, creating distinct layers in the forest canopy. This habitat is vital for maintaining hydrological balance, preventing soil erosions, and supporting a variety of plant and animal life. Major fauna in these forests includes red panda, Himalayan thar, musk deer, and elusive snow leopard. These species have adapted to challenging conditions of the higher elevations. Montane subtropical forests are crucial for conserving endemic and endangered species, as well as serving as a watershed for rivers that flow through the surrounding regions. Conservation efforts are also essential to address the impacts of climate change, habitat fragmentation, and human activity on these delicate ecosystems, ensuring the continued existence of their unique biodiversity and ecological functions. Another is montane temperate forests. Montane temperate forests in India are inactive ecosystem that thrive at higher altitudes in the Himalayan region. These forests nestle between the subalpine and montane subalpine tropical zones and are characterized by a rich diversity of flora and fauna adapted to cooler temperatures and distant seasons. Key tree species include silver fir, spruce, deodar, and various species of the pine. The forests display a layered structure with a diverse understory of shrubs, mosses, and herbs. Mountain temperate forests play a vital role in regulating water flow, maintaining soil stability, and supporting biodiversity. Major fauna in these forests includes Himalayan manal, snow leopard, musk deer, brown bear, etc. Many of these species are adapted to the challenging mountainous terrain and colder climate. Mountain temperate forests contribute significantly to the ecological balance of the region and serve as a habitat for numerous endemic and endangered species. These ecosystems face threats from anthropogenic activities, climate change, and unsustainable logging practices. Conservation efforts are crucial to preserve the unique biodiversity of mountain temperate forest and ensure the continued provision of ecological services to the surrounding areas. Another is subalpine forest. Subalpine forests represent an ecological transition zone between mountain temperate forest and alpine meadows, typically occurring at a higher elevation in the Himalayan regions. These forests, adapted to subalpine conditions, exhibit unique characteristics influenced by colder temperatures, shorter growing seasons, and specific topographic features. Prominent tree species in subalpine forests include juniper, rhododendron, birch. The vegetation at these elevations often takes on a stunted and shrub-like appearance due to harsh environmental conditions. These forests contribute to the protection of watersheds, regulating water flow, and preventing soil erosion in the mountainous landscape. Key fauna found in subalpine forests includes Himalayan thar, snow leopard, Himalayan black bear, and various species of the pheasants. These species have evolved to thrive in the challenging conditions of higher altitudes. Subalpine forests face threats from climate change, habitat fragmentation, and human activities. Conservation efforts are essential to safeguard the delicate balance of these ecosystems, preserve biodiversity, and maintain the ecological functions they provide to the surrounding landscapes, including downstream communities that rely on the regulation of water resources. Another is alpine scrub and pasture ecosystems. This type of forest ecosystems represents high altitude ecosystem above the tree line in the Himalayas. These environments characterized by extreme cold, short growing seasons and rocky terrain create a distinctive habitat that supports hardy vegetations and specialized wildlife. The vegetation in alpine scrub and pasture is dominated by mosses, lichens, and alpine herbs, adapted to survive in harsh conditions of high altitudes. These areas often display a carpet of colorful wildflowers during the brief growing seasons. Major fauna in these ecosystems include snow leopard, Himalayan thar, pikas, and various bird species adapted to alpine conditions. The wildlife in these regions has evolved unique adaptation to cope with low temperatures and scarcity of the resources. Alpine scrubs and pastures play a crucial role in regulating water flow and preventing soil erosion in mountainous landscapes. These areas are also important for pastoral activities as they provide grazing grounds for livestock belonging to the local communities. These ecosystems face threats from climate change, overgrazing, and tourism related activities. Conservation efforts are vital to protect the delicate balance of alpine scrubs and pastures, ensuring the survival of endemic species and maintaining the ecological integrity of high altitude environments. With this, we end today's lecture, and in the next lecture, we will discuss the grassland ecosystem. Thank you.